Hello! And today, I'm actually going to talk about something here that's kind of unique. A friend of mine went shopping, and his railroad has changed. Mine's pretty much stayed the same. So he said, Here, I've got some stuff I don't need. And this is what I call donation ware. A model railway can survive on donation ware, but you have to be careful who you're getting it from. Because some people will say, oh, you can have it, but I now own you and tell you what to do with your railway. Whereas if they donate it or giving it to you as a friend, they really don't have that right. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to beat around the bush too much. Let's start off with, well, a Milwaukee Road snowplow. Now, I used to own a couple of snowplows. I think one was UP, one was SP, but I always have been thinking about getting a new snowplow for my model railway. And there's a reason for it. When you're working in foul weather, you want to make sure, no joke, you want to make sure you have yourself covered. And snowplows are also really good if you have rock slides, landslides even, where you need to clear the track as quickly as possible. This is going to be your best friend. Now, said friend also gave me a Milwaukee Road boxcar because, it's not to the era, from what I understand, that he's modeling. Those up there. So, but yeah, like that. So, he's like, I don't have a need for it, and instead of it going into a shop and whatever else, boom, it's going to go onto a railway where it'll actually get used. And that's the thing. If your friends are getting... There's one kind of unwritten rule, and that is you use it. You get to use it, and you make good use of it. Whether you put it on a maintenance of way train, a freight train, a passenger train, whatever. Speaking of making good use, here's an old GTW boxcar. Better yet, why go for one GTW when you can have two? Now, the thing is that, once again, his era of modeling the GTW changed. These cars didn't really fit that era. And instead of them, once again, going into a shop, like, okay, they went to a model railroad that could actually make great use of them. And that's the thing. It's the same reason why I like to buy freight cars. You can make good use of your freight cars. When you start making good use of freight cars, coaches, whatever, people are actually going to be more willing to work with you because you're putting the stuff they've given you to good use. Now, he gave me his own home road brewed ore car, which I love the brown and the green lettering and everything. The green paintwork. It looks so sublime. Really does. And this is the thing, like, I have a fictional railroad. When I buy some unlettered, unpainted cars, like maybe tankers or whatever, I'm going to put my own railroad markings on them. But still, having your own homebrewed cars, and he really didn't need an ore car. So, and my railroad works with ore right there. Because sometimes you get cars you don't think you need. Or sometimes you get cars, oh, I'm going to do this a year later, when your railroad's starting to really take shape. No, it doesn't really cut it. Our last out-of-box car is a, Milwaukee Road High Cube boxcar. FL on the side. The door doesn't open, but I love the printed labeling and logos on the car. Now, this thing, it's a little bit taller than your more conventional boxcar. But here's the thing. It's still something. It's still going to be relatively nice to work with. Now, we come to the two things in boxes. Once again, like the previous two GT boxcars, this guy, you know, he's not, it's the wrong era that he's working in, so boom, a GTI boxcar. This makes 3 plus 2 I have out on the layout right now. 5. Yeah, about 5 or so GTI cars. And here's the thing. Cars travel. And that's what my railroad is. Cars travel. You don't need to be, you know, bloody Einstein to figure this out. Our last thing. This is kind of a joint venture engine between the two of us. Is the Milwaukee Road U30B. And here's the thing, I love U30Bs and U30... Wait, this is a U30C, or no, wait, U30B Lotos. Now the thing is I love U30s. Whether they're the B or the C range, I still love a good U30. I think the U30 is an underrated locomotive, hence the U, underrated. 30% underrated, which is a big pile. You know, it's 300% underrated, hence the 30. But it still will blow your mind, hence the B. But still, it's an engine that's, you know, it's small enough to get you going. It's gonna, you know, pull a decent freight train. You know, if you're gonna do like 20 car trains, this is the engine. You could just throw 20, 30 cars at it, and it'd be like, okay, whatever. And in all honesty, I love this engine. To be honest, it is not my most ideal, it's not my most ideal, like, general, or specific purpose locomotive. I'd leave that to some of the more, like, SD class locomotives. This is more like your GPs, your general purpose machines, which I would highly recommend you keep it as a general purpose machine, not as a special duty machine. But there's all that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.